Let's just start with. Ooh, a lot of feedback there, David. Just start by running us through your team news for the weekend. Mikel Antonio played 45 against Aston Villa, and how are things with Andrei Yarmolenko, because he tested positive, didn't he, last month?
First of all, Mick's not going to be available for the game. We're not sure how long he'll be. Hopefully it's not too bad, but he won't be available for tomorrow's game. Andrei Yarmolenko is recovering. Has trained the last few days, and yes, he is recovering. And like anybody else who's had the virus, it goes in different stages. You're not sure how quickly they can recover at different speeds. Some are very quick, and some might take a little bit longer. So, but the good news is he's back, he's fit, he's healthy, and he's been training the last couple of days.
What's the problem? The issue with Mikel Antonio, is it?
Well, he's still having a bit of problem with his hamstring, and it's not the same injury. We think it's something slightly different, which is good news. So we're hoping that it won't be so long.
Is everybody else okay?
Yes, we have. In the main, we've got a fully fit squad. Ryan Fredericks has had a bit of a problem with a groin, but apart from that, I think everybody else is close to full fitness, yeah.
Well, this weekend sees fans back in grounds at Premier League matches. Okay, it's in limited numbers, but it's the first time in 9 months that West Ham fans will have been to the London Stadium. What difference does it make, and what would you like to say to those fans who are going to the match?
Well, the biggest thing I'd like to say is we've been waiting on them coming back for months, like every club. But I think us especially, I think we've been so pleased that we're results, especially staying up last year. We didn't have them at the games in that period when I knew we would miss them, and obviously we've had a good start to this season, and them not being able to see it happening. But overall, it's a start. We've got a great stadium, and I hope that it won't be too long till we're able to fill it with them all.
Well, you go into this match 5th in the table, looking for a 4th win in a row. What has that done in terms of confidence, in terms of momentum, and are you perhaps seeing something new in this group that you hadn't seen before?
Well, we're just trying to build on what we've done. We can't guarantee that we'll continue in the same form, but what we want to do is keep getting better. I keep trying to make progress and improving, and I think the players here are doing it. They've played really well since ever we came back from lockdown. I have to go back to that period because we had 9 games in 6 weeks, and we've done a really good job in making sure we're a Premier League team. But I think importantly the players have kicked on again from then and gone on, and we're driving them forward to keep it going. We want to stay up near the top of the league. We enjoy it. It's certainly a much better feeling being there than it has been at the bottom. So I'm going to do everything I can to keep us up around the top end if we can.
I guess finally from me, can you clear something up for us? West Ham fans will have seen earlier this week that apparently there is a new contract on the table for you. They will also have read that the club has put all contract talks on hold. What's the situation, please?
Well, we've not had any contract talks at the moment, but all I can say is when I came in, I said I wanted to do a good enough job to show that I was worthy of a contract at the club here. I wanted to prove that. I'm in no hurry to do anything because we're going along nicely. We don't want anything in any way to sort of detract that. And again, all the players at the club have got to prove themselves every week. And if we decide to leave contracts a bit longer, then it shouldn't have any effect on them either.
Thanks, Ian. Mark, Scott?
Hi, David. Just going back to fans quickly, is that something that has been spoken about quite a bit this week in training? Have you noticed maybe a bit of an extra spring in the step of the players and yourself, knowing that you're going to have some fans back there?
I've got to say, it's been really strange not to have fans. But I don't know if it's going to be even stranger only having 2,000 in a 60,000 plus stadium. So I couldn't tell you exactly. But it's not something we've discussed openly, but we're all really, really thankful that we've got supporters back. And, it's a start. And the club's done a really good job in making sure everything's safe and prepared, as the Premier League clubs would do, because they're fully aware of the responsibilities and what this virus means. We've got to make sure we get rid of it. But overall, I've got to say it's great. I'm a football supporter. It'll be great, and I'm sure there'll be some people out there who'll be disappointed they can't get a ticket just now. But there'll be others out there who are really excited about getting back to coming to a game.
Second best return at this stage of a Premier League season for West Ham. How much satisfaction do you take from that, and what have been the main factors behind that start?
I take satisfaction that we're in a good league position, but I've been here as a manager many times. Sometimes I've not started the season well, sometimes I have, and it doesn't always pan out exactly how you want it. But I think for West Ham to get off to a good start when probably you and everybody else in here probably wasn't expecting that. They saw our fixtures and were not probably expecting us to do so well. Strange enough, I did, because I think that we've suddenly got a sort of hungry group of players who are keen to impress, keen to improve. As I said, I'm trying to alter a lot of the things which have been connected to the club over recent times. I want to get back to the values of the club, which was being one of the big main clubs in the country. But we've got a bit of work to do before we get there, exactly.
And has the start to the season changed the targets maybe? Surely you've got to be looking at more than just staying in the Premier League, maybe looking for European qualification perhaps?
Yeah, it's difficult because if I come out and say, let's get to 40 points first, it would sound negative. Ideally we go as far as we go and get everything we can. But ultimately, it took us up until the last game of the season last year. I don't even know if we got to 40 then last year, but we stayed up. So the first thing is let's see if we could get 40, and then let's see if we can get 50 or more. But ultimately, we've not really set any targets for it. What I do know is I want us to keep playing well. I want our performances to be good. I want our results to be better. But I want us to hang in on the shirt tails of all the big boys if I can.
Thanks, Mark. Ian?
Hi, David. How are you?
How are you doing? Good, thanks.
Very good. I want to talk to you, again, mention the contract situation. When you arrived back at the club, did you feel you had to answer some critics? And do you feel that you have answered those critics? Because if West Ham gave you another contract right here, right now, this afternoon, no one would object with the job that you've done.
No, I don't think I really had to answer to any critics, but I think that as a football manager, you're always having to prove yourself because you're nearly judged game by game. But the biggest proof I could give is, when you've nearly had 1,000 games now as a manager, it gives you an idea that for people to keep you in the job and have the level of longevity. I actually don't know if there's any manager when I first started out in the Premier League is still there now, from when I first came in as a manager. So from that point of view, to get that amount of games means that you're doing something right. But yeah, I feel as if you're always having to prove yourself as a manager and you're always having to keep winning. And, it can change very quickly. Football doesn't mean that you're always fortunate enough to be in teams which are winning. But I'm really enjoying this period at the moment because I enjoy West Ham. I enjoyed it the last time. I thought we were a bit unlucky not to have been kept in the job the last time. But the biggest compliment I could give the owners, as I said a few times now, is they came back and they recognised that the job we had done the first time was good enough for us to be given the chance to get it again.
Fans coming back tomorrow are going to see a different West Ham team to the last one that they saw, which was a struggling side, a side that was unsure whether or not they were going to stay in the division. As was proven on Monday night, they can win games in any way. They can play like they did against Wolves and win 4-0 expansively, or they can ride their luck a little bit, as you admitted the other night. What's the main difference do you think the fans will notice when they're back inside the stadium? And what would you like them to do in terms of getting behind you?
Well, I hope that they're recognising this sort of more energetic team and a more committed team. We're also trying to find ways to get players playing what we think in the best positions and giving them the best opportunity to perform. But I've got really good competition for the team, and we've got people who are ready to play and looking to play as well. But what I want the supporters to come back with a real level of positivity. I feel that the team are playing with it. The team are sort of showing it in training. I've got to say the atmosphere inside the dressing room at the moment is terrific. And we've got a real growing band of young players who've improved, and Declan Rice, Thomas Souček, And I'm putting them in a young bracket because these boys are 21, 22, 23, some of them, Pablo Fornals, for example, some of them are really just growing as we go along. So we want to keep adding to that. We want them to keep improving. But I have to say that, I think we've got a group now who are really showing another side to their game, which is making sure that when things aren't quite so good, that we still try and get points from it.
And last one from me. I know you can't afford to feel sorry for anybody you're up against, but you know exactly what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going through right now. For as bad as Man United are at home, they're really good away, which is dangerous for you tomorrow. But you must have some sort of empathy with the constant sort of critics and headlines that he's getting, David.
Well, the biggest compliment I give Ole is that he's managing what I see as the biggest club in the world, and the compliment that is in itself tells you that there's people out there who think Ole's doing a great job. And I have to say that when you're at these clubs, then what's really important is that you win. I didn't win enough games in my time that I was there, but I do think that there was some mitigating circumstances, a bit of transition was going on at the time as well. But what I would say is Ole will understand it even better than me. He's been a player there, he's been a manager there, and I think that at the big clubs sometimes it can be difficult. You're under pressure. Media is always looking at you and judging your performances. So, but no, Ole wouldn't want me to feel sorry for him, not at all. I think he knows that I'm going to do everything I possibly can to beat him on Saturday.
Thanks, Ian. Andy?
David, given the way the table is, I see you're 4 points off the top, but 4 points ahead of Palace and Arsenal in 14th and 15th. It's incredibly jammed, isn't it?
It's really tight, and that's why I don't think I was ever getting carried away, but I think the importance is that a lot of the teams we've been away to home to, we've been away to Arsenal, been away to Liverpool, we've been at Tottenham, we've been at Leicester. So we've been away at a lot of the teams who are all round the top of the league. So I think to get some of those games away from home out of the way is a big thing. I think we've got a decent points total for the games we've played, but obviously I'd like more. I want to push on, and I'm certainly not resting in my laurels. I need to try and make sure that we keep winning the games.
Has it been a great positive aspect for you this season that, whereas possibly I've been watching West Ham for many years, there was times where performances could dip in and out, whereas you seem to be getting a tune out of them so regularly at the moment, even if you were slightly disappointed on Monday?
Yeah, I think that if you took the 9 games we had in lockdown and this period where we're on the verge of nearly playing 20 games in that time, I think I think our consistency's been very good. Yes, have we had a dip in some games? Of course we have, but most teams will do that. I hope that it's going to continue for the next period. So the idea is to try and get a level of consistency at the club here where we think we know where we're going to be. Can we build on it? Can we grow it? And at the moment, that's what we're trying to do. And we're drumming into the players about their standards, their level of performance every game. And hopefully, when we don't quite reach those levels, then we've got a resilience which will get us points and win us games at different times.
And it's obviously a big blow with Mikel, given he was just sort of coming back. But at the same time, I imagine it was a very hard decision to leave Sebastian Haller out of the last game because of the way he performed in the previous game. So there's kind of two ways of looking at it, I suppose.
Yeah, there is. And, Mickey, we believed, was 100% fit and ready to go, and had showed it in his training. So we had no reason to not believe we were getting a fully fit Mickey Antonio back with us. And I think a fully fit Mickey Antonio, in the way he's shown his form, is something which we know gives us a different dimension. But Seb, you could see, was coming into a bit of form, and you could see that he was beginning to gain a bit of confidence from his games. So we'll be looking to him now, and we're hoping that he can get the goals which he has got in his previous clubs in previous seasons.
Thanks, Andy. Camera off, please, Kieran. Thanks. Jack, we'll start the written section with you. Thank you.